For number 5, I'm going to actually pass it off. So you are going to get to meet our 2 special guests here today. So I will pass it off to Michael and Scott, who are going to give you our 5th reason for digital assets. So a way to unlock another world of personalizing and owning the guest experience.
Thank you for that, Casey.
Thank you. Hello.
Let's get started. And hello, everybody. Scott and I are here. We are excited to help you reimagine guest experience in a way that is bespoke to your brand and also fit for the times. Let's start by taking a look and talking about the current state of the industry. Market forces have pushed you all to operate with limited, often inexperienced front of house personnel. And at the same time, leisure and leisure travel is on the rise. And as a result, the destination is increasingly becoming more of a part of the overall guest experience. And if you operate in the luxury lifestyle or boutique sector, this is probably more amplified just because, as we all know, guest experiences or expectations, I should say, are much higher.
Yes.
Meanwhile, now more than ever, guests are expecting everything from the palm of their hand. And this is a trend that I think we can all agree is accelerating. But this is great news, actually, if you are set up to take advantage of it.
Michael, can I interrupt? We don't see your screen quite. I know you have some good visuals there. Back in business.
Back in business. All right. How about now?
Looks great.
Okay. Sorry for that lack of visuals, but yes, if you do not have an updated approach to the digital guest experience, your guests are going to lean on the OTAs, Google, TripAdvisor, and others to navigate their localized part of the trip. And when they do that, you lose out in 2 major ways. One, you just miss an opportunity to delight your guests and highlight your property, but you also strengthen the OTA's position in the market as the leader in the go-to planning, booking, travel app. We don't want to do that. When that happens, the loyalty allegiance goes to the OTAs and not to your hotel brand. We at Tongo believe that you are the experts and that you have the key to helping your guests unlock the perfect guest experience. But guests are inevitably using Google and OTAs. So what's the disconnect? We've done a lot of user testing and research, and we've come up with the secret. You ready for it?
Oh, do it. I want to hear it.
So you need to meet guests on a medium that they are familiar with. What do I mean by that? Well, we are also accustomed to browsing information from our phones that when you send them a link to a PDF or a link to your website, and maybe it's just a list, or you hand them a piece of paper, what do you think they're going to do? They're most likely going to Google it. And so we want to close that gap. We want to meet them on a familiar interface, and Tongo allows you to do just that. So not only can we help you own, but we can help you enhance the guest experience while decreasing the amount of contact time with the front desk.
Yeah, I'll just add here again. My name is Scott. Hi, everybody. Director of Customer Success at Tongo. And we found in our conversations with hotels and people in the industry that overarchingly, there are 2 big values that we're providing through our service that is really resonating with people. One is enhancing the guest experience, driving sales, driving loyalty. And secondly, alleviating so many of those burdens that our staff are feeling these days when they just feel overwhelmed and can't keep up with all the demands. And so my quick question to you as you're out there, we'd love to hear from you right now. This is not rhetorical. You have a real quick 1 or 2 and you go into the chat box, put a 1 if the thing that is most resonant with you as we speak about this is, you know what, Scott, what we're really driven by right now is enhancing the guest experience. We are so obsessed with that, and we really want more assets and tools in that direction. If that's you, put a 1 in the chat box. If, however, you feel, yeah, of course, guest experience can always be better, but it's really my team. They're overworked, they're burdened, they need a lot of assistance, and that's something that's keeping me up at night. Put a 2 in that chat box. We're really interested to hear from you right now. What's most resonant with you of these 2 big values that we're bringing through Tongo?
Thank you, Scott. Yeah. So how do we enhance the guest experience? Well, we help your guests get to a decision on what to do and where to go quickly and without that fear of missing out. And if you ever traveled with a partner or with kids, you know how important that is to quickly get to a decision where everybody is happy and content with.
Mm-hmm.
What does a modern guest experience look like? Well, it has to start on their mobile phones. It has to be mobile friendly, no download required. It's hotel branded. It has a robust search function, and you have these hot buttons or instant request buttons that guests can click to be routed to the appropriate department. So what am I in the mood for? I am in the mood for, we give you some options here. Really cool. We take it one step further. Like, who are you traveling with? Are you by yourself? Are you with a partner? Are you with a group? Are you on business travel? Do you have a pet? Are you with your kids? And so today I'll be dining and say with a date. And just like that, with 3 clicks, I can have curated recommendations from your guest services team that are specific to exactly what I'm in the mood for and who I'm traveling with.
Mm-hmm.
And the benefit of getting this information quickly into the hands of your guests, quite literally, is you're going to have a far less general and repetitive requests of your front desks.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, your team can focus on more high value tasks and guest interactions.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to ask you, this is not to put in the chat, but when you go take this back to your colleagues, how many 5 to 10 minute conversations per day do you think you could save if you were able to effectively get this information in guest hands? So, and then what else would you do with that time?
Right. Oh man, so much value add there. And I'll just point out quickly, guys, I'm not a professional photographer, as you can see here, but this is a picture that I took with my phone this week when I was in Boston at a quite nice hotel downtown, by the way. It will remain nameless. But look at this poor concierge. This woman is trying so hard. I kept finding her frazzled, overwhelmed. She couldn't take calls. She was telling people, I'm sorry, I've got 8 people in front of me. There was always a line there. People were bored. They were peeling off. They were looking at their phones. It was a hot mess. And it's just emblematic of, I think, what is par for the course now at hotels.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott. But wait, there's more. We can also help you drive sales. So as I mentioned earlier, you can highlight your own property, restaurant, bar amenities first and foremost, quite obviously. But we can also encourage extended stays. And actually, a great example is working with our friends at Kipsu. You can drop a link in, for example, a mid-stay text that could be a link to the collection, 5 hidden gems you maybe didn't know about. And with that text, it could have a call to action, such as call the front desk, use the code word hidden gems, and save 20% on an extended stay. And then also, we're generating loyalty. So happy guests are going to come back and stay with you again. They're going to share their experience with their friends and family, and they are going to be your future direct booking advocates for your hotel brand.
That's right. So that's awesome. I love this overview. Now, I would love for us to give you a quick sense, Michael, if you would, what do the logistics look like at this point? How do we get it in people's hands, and what does the experience feel like? Let's walk them through it.
Yeah. So here is an example text from one of our friends at the Kimpton Hotel Van Zant. So it starts with the Kipsu welcome message. You'll drop a link in there, and I have a little demo for you guys here.
Yeah.
I'm going to start here and the Kipsu welcome text, where I can click this link. It's going to open up in my web browser. So notice there is no download required. Here on the hotel tab, I'm able to welcome guests with a short message, provide them request buttons so they can call or text the correct department, highlight all my on-property services and amenities, and then answer any general FAQs here on the bottom portion of this page. Let's take you through the search function. So I'm in the mood for dining. Say I'm dining and I want it to be kid-friendly. I can further point my search for, say, coffee, breakfast, lunch, dinner, brunch, etc. Or I can say activities with a group. Let's go show you nightlife. I wanted to show you if there's a VIP tag like there is here on Higher Ground, that just means that there is an exclusive offer there waiting for you. So this is a complimentary cocktail at a fine cocktail bar in Austin. Notice here too, I can browse through the pictures, and then I have all the call to action buttons to call, get directions, view the menu, or book the table, all on the venue page here. I'm going to show you one more thing on the Explore page. Another way to organize recommendations are the collections. So these can be flexible. The couples, great for couples. This one's set up as like a 24-hour itinerary. So coffee, breakfast, morning activities, lunch, etc. The other way to get your staff involved and make recommendations, you can have staff profiles. So anybody on your staff can create a profile, let guests know a little bit more about them, and then they can create their own list. So coffee, fancy dinner, casual dinner, brunch, go for a climb. This really gives a lot of flexibility for your staff to make the app their own and really put a face and name to the service for your guests. One more thing I wanted to show you, the events and experiences. So these are going to be bookable tours and experiences, and or music shows, tours, events, comedy. Again, you can categorize them up here, or they'll be categorized for you, I should say. And then if your guests find something that they want to do, there is the price and the tickets where they can buy tickets or book a tour directly in the app. And yeah, I open the app up for, or open the time up for any questions you guys may have, and looking forward to getting you and your team set up on the app. Thank you guys.
Nice work, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's solid. So guys, listen, I want to just interject here before we hand it back to the Kipsu folks. This is Tongo, on behalf of Michael, I'm going to say this is a genius solution to real problems that hotels are facing today. And we want to just give you a little nudge to encourage you to reach out to us and talk this through further with Michael ASAP. And so here's the little nudge. We have a special offer for you today that goes beyond the current offer we have for all hotels. Our current offer that we're offering to all hotels is that the next 10 hotels who sign up with Tongo, we will decrease the onboarding fee by $500. But for you watching this webinar, my friends, today, tomorrow, if you're watching the recording in the coming days, here's the offer. We're going to work for you. If you reach out in the coming few days, we're going to waive the entire $1,500 onboarding fee. And wait, there's more.
There is more.
There's more. On top of the waiving of the fee, everybody, we're going to do the onboarding ourselves. White glove, Scott or Michael or both. We'll do the onboarding for you. We'll upgrade your QR assets free of charge. And we're also going to give you an hour strategy session that looks at a high level view of guest experience from our collective experience, which is significant. So we would love to meet you. We'd love to connect and hear more about your story. And so what you're going to do is click on that link and you can reach out to Michael and set up a time to connect ASAP.
Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to talking to you guys.
So we're going to pass it back to our friend Casey.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Great to see. Nothing beats when you can browse through and pick things on your own, but it's already gone through the step of being curated. So you're not wasting your time. All right. Let me get back in here.
Definitely.
All right. Perfect. All right. I want to give everybody an opportunity to be able to reach out to Kipsu or Tongo for a demo or for any questions. So I'm just going to leave this slide here open for a second. you can get in touch with us to learn more. In addition to that, I am going to just throw my email in the chat for everyone to see. Whether you are already a Kipsu partner of ours and you want to get in touch, I will put you in touch with your direct customer success representative that works with your property. So if you have any specific questions about elevating your current digital assets, enabling new, who can add, edit, all of that stuff, I have my email in the chat. So you can feel free to direct those questions at me and I will get those to the right person. But feel free to scan these. You can set up a demo with Tongo. Thank you guys for sharing all that. And then also, if you are new to Kipsu, a form to request more information from us or for our support team is going to be located. Again, you are getting a copy of this whole webinar. So give you some time to scan, but if not, you're going to get that sent to you. All right, some key takeaways today. Hope you guys learned something new, whether that's from Tongo and you've been a long-time Kipsu partner, or maybe you learned something that you didn't know about your own Kipsu account. So hopefully we found some ways that you guys are going to be able to enable to get additional revenue for your property, to boost those loyalty programs effortlessly, additional signups, additional buy-in, help your guests with their visit, create that personalized touch point. You're already doing so much to keep that Kipsu interaction and that text message personalized with your user signatures and all that. This really is just going to help everything come full circle, especially with Tongo's little personalized recommendations and profiles. You can really kind of connect faces to names and all that, making a really seamless experience, really elevating whatever you're currently doing. So imagination, please bring it. You know, we are happy to help work with your property and come up with creative things, but you know your property best. You know your branding, your messaging, your vibes of your property. So really possibilities are endless, and we look forward to working with you guys some more to find out what we can do to help. I will open this opportunity up for any Q&A. We've had something pop up, I know, in the Q&A box, so I'll pop that Q&A, and the chat box is open as well. Should be able to choose if you want to send that to everybody. The Q&A is anonymous, so we will open that up. I do have a couple common questions that Kipsu gets working with their property, so I'll start with those. A lot of people ask that are using Kipsu already, can you use digital assets in your quick replies, and can you use digital assets in your in-house or outreach feature? The in-house outreach feature, if that's new to you, that's a way that you can communicate with a wide group of people, all guests in-house or all guests that belong to a certain tag. And yes, you can. So for example, I have a property that uses a Kipsu line to work with internal employees only. So they use kind of like an HR line. They actually send their housekeeping schedules and engineer schedules via a PDF. They send it to everybody that belongs to that housekeeping or engineer tag. So they just send one message and it goes to everybody in that group with that picture. So really cool application of that. Also frequently get asked if you can add digital assets to quick replies. I did cover that in this, which is yes, you absolutely can. All right, we did get a question for Tongo in here. So who is able to get these offers? You mentioned an exclusive offer with a local property or a local restaurant. Who gets those offers? Do we do that? Do you?
Yeah, great question. So during our onboarding, we talk to the property, and if they already have some relationships, which some of our hotels do, we take over and convert those into our digital, or put them on our platform digitally. But we also, with the hotel's permission, reach out to all the recommended venues and kind of negotiate those deals on behalf of the hotel. So a little bit of both, but we do as much heavy lifting as you give us permission to do.
Awesome. Awesome. Another question is, can guests communicate sending attachments? And yes, they can. A lot of people don't actually know that. So I think a really great way to do is just utilize it yourself. If I see that the hotel is texting me pictures, I would probably have the assumption that I can text them back. So texting those PDFs and URLs will probably demonstrate that ability. But yes, guests can text back with pictures. I frequently see this used. A great way to use it is if a guest is reporting like an issue with their room, sending a picture saves a lot of time going back and forth of here's what's wrong, or sharing pictures of your pets or any fun thing Just really when you're having that personalized interactions. All right. I know I had one in the chat. Let me move over. Okay, this one is for Tongo. What do you need to get started with Tongo? Great question.
What do you need? So schedule a meeting with us. We will take you in, and it's typically a 30-minute conversation. We go through a series of questions that gets at, where you typically recommend for your guests. We take that information back to our team. Our content team gets everything set up for you. Extremely low lift on your end. We do the heavy lifting. Our team is trained to take those questions in and get it back to you. And then if there's any ongoing additions, like, oh, hey, we wanted to add this, no problem, just let us know, and we get it set up for you. So a long way of saying it's about a 30-minute, sometimes 45-minute conversation with either your concierge, if you have one, or a lead guest service agent.
Awesome. Another one for Tongo. Who keeps the content updated?
We do. So we actually have a Google API integration. So all the location, times, email, phone number, that all stays up to date via Google. We pull the information from Google. So it is up to date. You don't have to worry about it.
Awesome. I'll wait a little bit longer. Those were all I had in the QA box. I'll give everybody a second if there were any last minute, if we prompted any last minute questions. I thought of another one, not in the Q&A box, but a lot of people ask if there's a limit to the digital assets that you can use, and there is not. So whether you have your link to Tongo, whether you have several other links in there, I have not seen us encounter a limit. So push it, see if you can, but it's you'd be my first if I see a limit. I have not seen one yet. Hope that answers your question. Again, email me if you have any other separate questions. All right, I think that's it for the Q&A box. Let me just end it up on this screen again. Again, if you have any questions that you forgot or you just want to ask later, my email is in the chat for everyone to see. So you should be able to do that. I'll just take one last gander while we're all here, if there's any further. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Casey. My email is michael@letstongo.com, and Scott's is scott@letstongo.com. Or you can email our general email is hello@tongo.app.
On behalf of Kipsu, we thank you guys all for joining us. Really appreciate you, Michael and Scott, taking the time to share. And just hope we can answer any of your questions in the future. We look forward to our continued partnership. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you,
guys.
Casey.
Our
Appreciate
pleasure.
it. And looking forward to talking to you guys soon.